Yellow everybody, my name is TheRealPBDon, and today I wanted to come out of hiding and talk about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now, I've seen quite a bit of negative feedback all over the internet, and I know I'm not just the only one. I also know that I'm not the only one that shares this opinion that this is actually a pretty good game. However, the only thing, well, not the only thing, but one of the major things that I see pop up time and time again has stuff to do with sbmm, skill-based matchmaking. Now, although that isn't the only flaw that this game suffers from, this is the one that I see, again, come up the most. I'm not going to waste your time and sit here and rant and ramble on about what sbmm is and how it negatively affects the player base. But what I will do is sit here and tell you that it's not as bad as you might think. Yes, on one hand, it does kind of turn the whole casual public experience into a ranked gameplay mode. However, this is something that has been in Call of Duty since, I believe, World at War, maybe COD 4? So I actually did look it up, and it said that sbmm was introduced into Call of Duty in 2007, so that would have made it Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare, the OG Modern Warfare. And again, people are going to sit here and say, well, it's been turned up a lot more since then. And again, this could be true, but we just don't have the information available to prove this one way or the other. Personally, I think it works rather well when you're playing solo. I think playing with friends is when it becomes a little sticky, and it almost encourages people to not play with their friends, especially if they're a higher rank than the other person or a higher skill level. I mean, think about it. If you're the worst of your two friends, your three friends, it's going to start pairing you with harder enemies because you are the odd man out. You're the one that's bringing the average down. However, if you're just playing the game normally, casually, like the game is designed to be played, sbmm shouldn't come into play as much as it actually does. It shouldn't affect you. It shouldn't piss you off as much as it did. Yeah, you're not going to be stomping on players every single game, every single day, but I have been able to, have a few decent lobbies every now and then, and maybe that's just because I play a different style of game than most people. I'm a very objective friendly rusher that is always going for I'm trying to win, that's the main point of the game, is to win. And especially with these new challenges, the armory unlocks, you have to win games to unlock challenges. To unlock equipment, which don't even get me started with the armory unlocks. Again, this is something that I have seen quite a lot of negative feedback again, as well as skill-based matchmaking. However, again, I think this is a huge win for Call of Duty. I think this encourages people to do the challenges, the daily challenges, which again encourage them to use different types of equipment, different types of weapons, different types of perks, everything along those lines. Kill streaks. I'm actually not sure if kill streaks are in their field upgrades yet. I'm not sure. They've got to have some sort of kill streaks. I don't know if I've ever gotten one yet. A daily challenge that involves a kill streak. But the major issue I hear with this is that it takes forever to win, and yes, that's true, but the one that I think has more of a negative effect on the gameplay is that some of the challenges require you to use equipment that you might not have unlocked yet. For example, I think a Semtex is unlockable through the armory upgrades, but let's say one of the challenges you need to do that is you need to use a throwing knife, which you also have to unlock through the armory challenges. Well, if you don't have the throwing knife unlocked yet through the challenges, you obviously can't unlock the Semtex. Now, lucky for us, Call of Duty did think about this a little bit, and they did end up throwing us a bone a little bit by making the default classes rather diverse. So for the most part, if you need to unlock something, if you need to do a daily challenge to unlock something, you should be able to through default classes, and they're usually pretty quick, so it shouldn't take you more than a game to do one of the challenges. Anyway, I started getting off topic and forgot what this video was even mainly about. But actually, one of the things that I wanted to add before I move back onto the topic that I originally started with and wanted to talk about today, it still revolves around the armory unlocks, and I wish that for the prestige system, they could have kept the normal prestige system where it's just, every 50 levels you go to the next prestige automatically. I would still like for them to add a button in there that we can prestige. I just feel more satisfied if I'm actually working towards something that I physically click and like you see like a new animation or something as your emblem changes, your prestige icon changes. But I just don't want them to add that level cap, like 200 levels every season. I just don't think it doesn't give me a reason to play for the whole season. Like right now, I've been max level 55 for almost since the second day I think it came out, which is frustrating because I want to play the game, but it just doesn't seem worth it. As myself, which I consider myself to be a much more casual player, it doesn't really seem worth it for me to level up my guns and not really level up my soldier, if that makes any sense. But I think a great way to kind of integrate that old prestige system where you reset your level, and also keeping the same prestige system that we're kind of using right now where you get to keep your level between seasons, in my opinion, would be using this armory unlock as a more intense version of the standard prestige system that we see right now. And what I mean by this is every season your armory unlocks reset. No matter what level you are, every single thing that you've unlocked through Armory Unlocks resets. And as we know, that's probably at least half the equipment, if not more. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you need to unlock. Weapons, blueprints, not blueprints, weapons, perks, equipment. So with this new way of working on it, it's almost like you get that same old prestige system where you have to re-unlock everything. Not quite everything, but quite a bit. And still using that new prestige system where Call of Duty probably makes all this money from letting people not have to reset their level physically. So you're still making that progress of becoming your soldier, leveling up, and your weapons and all that. You just have to re-unlock some things every now and then. Which, if you ask me, I almost think that that's maybe what they will be doing or doing in the future for other seasons. Who knows? I think we'll all just kind of have to hold on and see where they decide to go with all this. But anyway, that's about all I have for today's video. I'm actually out of time. I got a little distracted by talking about this other stuff, the armory upgrades, the armory unlocks, whatever they're called. So maybe I'll try and finish my thought on SBMM in another video. But as of right now, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.